In the beginning, there was darkness, black, the void, but it wasn't empty, for the void itself lived. She mused in her state for time immeasurable. Eventually, darkness began to feel, but all it felt was loneliness. She needed companionship. Mustering all of her strength, she split herself to create another. Light was born. All went according to plan. She had a partner, a lover, but her love was not reciprocated. Everywhere darkness went, light would flee, and when light came, it was always in darkness's absence. You are mine. To be my lover is your purpose. Why do you flee? Darkness asked. I am your creation, born of you, your brother, your son. We cannot be lovers, Light answered truthfully. We are from one body. We are the same. Light's explanation wounded Darkness, but she knew it to be true. There was no denying that they were no more suited to one another than a parent to their child. But in their differences, Darkness saw an opportunity. Over the course of an unfathomable span of time, Darkness watched Light's inspiration grow. He constantly gave of himself to create time, space, and matter. Darkness spied eagerly to witness the children born of light grow and manifest creations of their own. Seeing her opportunity, Darkness approached the three siblings and said, "You beings are under me, a mere speck of my celestial power. You will be my companions, my lovers." Time, space, and mass could hardly comprehend the words of this grand being. Until this moment, they had not even known of her existence. The words of their own father, Light, were difficult to understand, but he did his best to explain what Darkness was seeking. They all began to vaguely understand Darkness's intentions. The three offspring of Light were unable to respond to Darkness's advances. As compared to her, they were inanimate, mere concepts that manifested being. Darkness' demands were met with silence. She began to feel anger at the further rejection. Deep down, she understood why her desire was fruitless, but defied the reality she was faced with. Everything she tried, every being of herself, appeared to reject their role as her paramour. Once more, Darkness returned to her void, waiting, planning. As Light continued to create, the three siblings played their roles in being the canvas for his art. Manipulating all of their essences, Light fleshed out the universe. Space filled the void with celestial beings, homes without occupants. Matter created the things to fill the empty spaces, the first plants, animals, and beings. Imaginative and diverse, but lifeless and hollow. Time created a framework in which everything could exist, to one day grow and flourish. Light gave the most, as he put a small piece of himself in every creation of his brood. A spark, as it were, to ignite their unique potentials. Darkness looked upon this new, filled void with a dichotomic wonder. She both loved the fullness of the universe and every being in it, but also hated that she still felt only isolation. As the universe flourished, Darkness approached the beings within it and demanded, "You beings are mere molecules compared to my power. You are mine, and you will be my companions." But the beings could not understand. They were too small, too far removed from the great deity's power to ken her needs, and above all else, they lacked true sentience. They feared this ultimate entity who approached them in anger and desire. Darkness became overwhelmed by her rage. If she could not have a companion, this universe would return to her, return to the void from whence it came. She began to sweep across every planet and every space in between, snuffing out any and all signs of Light's creations. Light knew that he and his sons were no match for Darkness. Even combined, they had given so much of themselves in the creation of the universe that they could not compare to half her strength. Then, Light came up with a plan. Darkness had scored the seemingly infinite planes of existence. Billions, no, trillions of planets had been wiped clean from existence. Finally, she arrived at the last bastion against her creeping doom, a small blue planet. The beings of this final planet bore witness to an incomprehensible cosmic event. The forces of light, mass, time, and space gave themselves in sacrifice to create a sole being of power. It called itself life, for that it was its domain and its unending bard. Despite life's power paling in comparison to that of darkness, it had a chance. Life took a different approach. For every being that darkness took to the void, another one sprung forth from the denizens of the final planet. Her destruction of all that her brother had built gave her the name Death. Amongst the newly living creatures, capable of sentience, speech, and thought. Once more, the cycle continued. Where death went, life would flee, and when life came, it was always in death's absence. So persists the constant war to this day. Death fights to return all of creation to the void, while life fights to sprout through every crack in the darkness, like a weed splitting through the concrete. But death is not without her own creativity. Death has adapted, managed to find ways to worm herself into the hearts and minds of life's creatures. They feed on one another to stay alive and to preserve their own lives. They hunt their own kind and cut one another down prematurely. But death's most wicked machination. The creatures of life bring death to one another for pleasure.